Last time on
Danganronpa.
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
Oh yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
The Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge world-ending wolf beast. Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Well, we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
Really, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later. No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? Blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
You have the blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must be, it must be nice, fresh chicken blood. So it must be the missing chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
This whole trial?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Like your face. The suspicion falls back on me again. Thanks, Kyoko. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguise that by that a two-bullet section of your handbook. Let's take a look at it now. First time we actually have one of these show up mid-case. So we got disguise dead body. The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent him from getting wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed a white jacket over the body. This jacket had previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse has been wearing it. So there you go, that's number 19.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I had to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Make your argument. Disguise dead body, explode body analysis, and fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means the knife was just through the coat into the body. And we got a way to prove it.
In the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did
You
have
just
that
think what
knife
happened,
before,
huh?
then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just
I
because
don't
I
know how
had the
stupid some of
knife
these guys
once,
feel with this.
that automatically makes me the killer?
I tell you, it's
Well,
definitely this
getting
one.
stabbed is what killed her.
Boom!
No,
Shut up,
it's wrong.
hero. Oh, my computer turned on at that moment.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
I mean, she wasn't dead until the coat was put on. She was already dead. The night was in front of you can see all this. It's not. I think we nailed it all. It's not that. I'm sorry.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. That condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. In the Monokuma file!
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion, and that's the fragments in the dead body.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
You determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Make your argument. Monokuma file number 5.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves...
Then shall we
It's
continue
all making
the debate?
sense now, isn't it?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well,
At this point, I'm trying to figure out what the
totally dead
right statement is. Also trying to get rid of some of
And
that white
it wasn't
noise.
because of the knife, right?
Because white noise is needed.
There's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma, that's gotta be it.
And
There
yeah, I
was
started to speed up
evidence
because I
that showed she was
remembered
hit
that
more than
we don't
that,
have
the
it
victim
on
had
here.
suffered
We've already
countless
passed
wounds
it.
across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal
That's been
injury
getting a little warm
has
this
yet
week.
to
That's
be
why I'm a little
determined,
tired at
correct?
the
The
moment.
explosion didn't kill her
I
for
missed!
sure. I guess.
There was a miss!
And it wasn't because of the
Oh, we
knife,
can always get
right?
another one.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think the other thing is
According to the
Toko's an idiot.
Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit
That
on the
back?
back of her head.
And more
Now
than
he's
that,
back up.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then
So
shall
odd.
we continue? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
Determined, correct?
Oops, I'll take care of that. Fire. Boom!
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
Easy trial.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Real murder weapon, that's easy. It's the aluminum arrows. It makes sense. Or titanium,
I got it!
otherwise known as.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame you for dying it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Make your argument! Bloody duct tape, wood blocky, and titanium arrows. Let's do this.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master. You have no right!
If it was just a titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough. That's why they used the bloody duct tape.
Titanium
Oh, by the
arrow.
way, the reason why I called titanium duraluminum
It was in the
is
dojo locker,
because that's
right?
what I was looking
I
up
have
something
no
for
doubt
practice
that
for
was the murder
Resident
weapon.
Evil Code Veronica, even though I know
You
it's chapter
sure?
2. And
You don't
duraluminum,
sound
I was looking up what that
convinced.
was.
What's the
I never heard it
problem?
before then, and that's how I found
'Cause
out.
in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick
there
as
you
a
go.
metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
And boom! Got one!
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Does he ever? I had no idea in this line, okay.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo? Must be connected to that dojo locker, which is the woodblock key! Which is right here.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Does that mean she... She knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? And she's my alibi? Could that be when... You mean that Kyoko? She killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Yaki should know better than anyone? What does that mean? Make your argument! When the body was found. Let's do it.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave a room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
Oh man, this is really getting bad. This is really getting hot. And I accidentally fired it a little early by mouse tapping. Good job, May! Tap the mouse and it fires early. Which means now we have to do the whole thing again, and I take a hit.
Shoot!
It was almost a perfect trial. We're close to the end, I think.
Exactly what I said. I'm not
I got a
the
little list
killer.
here that tells me, yeah, according to my notes, we're at the end.
Byakuya,
I was one
Master
section
would never
off.
hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a thing.
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Well, we only had to get one case perfect, so that's fine. We
But
did the second case
Could I
perfect.
really have done that?
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
But
Exactly
this
what I
has just
said.
been a back and forth battle.
I'm
Do you know
not
who
the
did it?
killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Because these things are getting really off the wall now.
Master would never hide something from
I
me.
mean, we definitely know this is a very easy answer
There's
to
proof
this.
that you aren't the culprit.
Gabe's not pointing to it yet.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction of what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her! Trying to save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? That she's a killer? Or is it something else? Is there some deeper meaning and hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. Oh man, the Mastermind's trap. That's why I'm trying to trap Kyoko? But well, that's not really true. What can I do? What should I do? What should I... Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Oh, what do we do? I'm sorry, Kyoko.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying. It must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Make your argument. Kyoko's account.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there.
That's the only explanation.
Kyoko herself told me before the trial started that she had stolen something very important from the headmaster's room. And then
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
my heart is wrenching right
So I
now, by the way, guys.
Possibly have gotten into my room.
It's fully wrenching.
No, that's wrong. No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool to open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up. All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Good job! You got it right! Brilliantly right! You got it right. Said Yuka really is killer, but something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
I'm preparing an extra special punishment this time. Is everyone ready? Okay then!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
You guys know the rule. You know what's gonna happen. It's gonna lag. I'm not gonna watch this one. You guys can see it in the first episode. You can watch it here. I'll see you after. I'm gonna go get a drink now. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I started to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. In the end, it proved to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there's never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. They obtained peace, in exchange for the lives of all the others. Peace, but only inside the school. Aww, that's cute. And Hiro was right. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we ever had. Having to hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
What? It isn't? Okay, this case just got even weirder. Yes, this is the only case that has a double ending. We unfortunately ended up with the bad ending on this one. Which Kyoko ended up dying, and, well... the ending does prove that Hiro was right. According to his free time, Koto and Hiro both had the same mother to their child. Hina. Oh, I feel bad for her. But yeah. I don't feel as bad for Byakuya. I mean, he does get a child out of the deal and a heir to his throne. But he had to marry crazy. Or at least mate with her. Could you imagine that? Those two going at it? Those two are just meant for each other, though, so I'll just let it go. Either way, next episode we're going to continue right from where we left off. And we're going to finish the trial. And we're going to see the continuing ending. But I should mention one last thing before we go. That ending we just got is missable if you don't get it. But we can always redo the trial to chapter select and get it later if you miss it. Same with any other cutscene you miss. Same with the Man's Fantasy. I think there's one other one you can actually miss by stuff. I'm not 100% sure on memory at this point in time. But if I do remember it, which I probably will, I'll inform you. So yeah, I hope you have fun, and I'll see you on the next episode. See you then.